All right, and welcome to another exciting Vamp show. Right here we are. We are having a good time here, and let's see what we got. All right, so we have got a lot of craziness going on, right? And I'm gonna pull this over, and I've got my let's see, it's my Bollinger Band chart. Where's my BB chart? Where are you at? All right, and let me reset this baby. Let me pull this sucker over here. All right, so kind of here's the chart that we've been using in the members area right here. So here's what I was watching. This is our Bollinger Band chart, and there's a lot of information on this chart right now. So here was our BB chart, came up, tested the top right here. Now, when we tested the top, I did get pretty darn lucky, I want to say. I called a short. We dropped out. It was a really good short. Now, I did eat total doo-doo on this puppy right here. I mean, I ate doo-doo on this short. It was unbelievably ugly. Now, you know, one of the things I want to point out is here's the channel. This is kind of what I've been watching right here. This is kind of the channel I've been playing in. And, you know, this is what this is the channel support right here that I've been looking for to get supported. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can see where this breaks out. You see where it gets supported, you know, so on and so forth. And this goes all the way up. And I was really looking for this channel to have a lot more support as it's had historically. And nope, the channel just got wiped out, right? Now, when you look at the channel right here and when you come into the channel, usually what happens when we hit this channel gets blown through on a bullish move, right? So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It just gets blown through. Here you go. This is a bullish move, came up, tested it, came back down, and then just kind of blew right through that channel, right? Now, we have done that. We've tested this channel a little bit. It's scaring me right now. This is scaring me. This is giving the Vamp a little heartburn right here, and I'm definitely having a little heartburn at the moment, right? So I kind of redeemed myself in the members area by making that call, right? I kind of redeemed myself a little bit. We did make some good money, so we had a bunch of guys use some pretty high leverage, and they caught this short right here. We cleaned out the shorts. We chased it right back up. So now we're sitting pretty. Now here's your other channel right here. Now I want to bring this over one more time, and I want to pull over. Where's our channel chart? There's our fib chart. So this chart, here's our channel again. So here's our channel as this channel rushes down here, right? And bust through once, bust through again. Support there. Resistance there. Support there. Same thing, wick. Look at these double wicks. If you get inside here, you kind of got these double wicks. Okay, let me make sure everybody can hear me. Yep. Yep. So, you know, we've got, so basically this came through here. Look at the double wick, perfect with the double bodies. Okay, came on through, wicked out, broke through, dumped down, wicked out. It was a party and dumped down. And this is kind of what's happening again, right? We're getting the same pattern that's playing out. And this is one of the things I called this. I'm like, hey, you know, all right, go up. I didn't think we'd get this high. I really thought we were going to tap out right here above the line at the 236. So look right here. You see how this correlates with the 236 here, 236 there. And you can zoom in. And look at this, it's all lines up perfect, right? 236, 618, the 50, everything kind of clusters in right here. You get the drop down, you get the hook back, right? You get the drop down, you get the hook back. This all looks good in here. And then I thought, okay, so I kind of set my bar low right here. I definitely set my bar low. I said, hey, this is, you know, gonna come up here and tippy-tappy, and then, you know, it definitely broke high. It definitely broke high. Oops. It definitely broke high. It broke over. So this definitely came up and broke out of the 236, right? So look at this 12-hour candle we posted, right? Look at this insane 12-hour candle, right? I mean, insane 12-hour candle. Look at this crazy, crazy spinning top right here. This doji spinning top, right? This is just like mind-blowing how beautiful this candle is. You just can't make a candle this pretty anymore. You know what I mean? Like when you get a candle like that, you got to give that a little bit of a high five. High five. There you go. And, you know, this is just such a beautiful candle that played out right here. This is, to me, a good top, a good reversal candle on this. And this is what I've been, I've been in the members and we've been telling everybody. And let's go find, where is that dang chart again? I got too many damn charts. And so we're going to find our BB chart. Where's our BB? There it is. So here was my call in the members area, right? Down. Now, here's what it did. You see this dotted line. When you use your TD indicator calls out this support. Boom. Perfect on the support. I had this green line. It's been sitting there. It's been parking there. This was my resistance coming up, right? And look, bang, there's my resistance when this came up, right? And it goes all the way back here. You can kind of trace this thing back. There's, look, body right there. There's confluence along this line. And this is kind of what I was chasing. I was like, okay, this is one of the good stopping points. This is good. I called out 6,400 as a stopping point. Bam, it stopped, right? And then it came up, and now my second tough part was 6470, right? So 6470 is a bear. 6470 is 6485. There's just a lot of confluence in there, a lot of historics. You come back here, you've got a lot of historical things going on back there, right? So just bam, snapped right through it. Vamp should have been over. He should have been paying attention to his fib chart, right? I should have been over here on this freaking fib chart saying, oh, hey, look, you know what? Look, stupid idiot Vamp. Look, this thing pokes through. There it is. Poke through the 236. Poke through the 236. And sure enough, came up. Now, we've tested the 236. All right? This is the magic moment in time. This is it. This is the magic moment where this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the TA comes to thrive or die right here. Okay, because this is it. This is what I've been calling. I've been saying, hey, guys, this is kind of the spot, right? And I've been not only calling it there, but I've been calling it here. Where is this? There we go. And where are we at? Let's go over to here we go. Scroll. He's going for it. Keep going. Where is it at here? Let me find this. Where are you at? And I'm going to find it. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. I post a lot of stuff. Listen, don't judge me. I work hard. Okay? You want to know who works hard? I work hard. I post charts like a fiend. Right? I'm always updating everybody like a fiend because I hate not being updated. Oh my God, that bugs me so much. All right, so here's my chart. So we're going to go back, and this chart was yesterday 11 p.m. This is one of them I pulled up. Now, I was watching this. I said, hey, here you go. I'm watching this chart, and this is where this thing is falling out before on the 12 hours. This thing in the 12 hours coming up here. There's our arrow. There's our target box, right? And now you go all the way down. Let's go find that chart, right? Let's go and find that chart. That's my RSI chart. Where are you at, RSI chart? Hello? There it is. Boom. Right? Now, we have hit this area. This area has historically been a resistance area, right? This little area right here historically has been a resistance area. Look, there you got, some little tickies back there. You got this little ticky here. There's a little baby tick squeezed in there, right? This one jumped over. This one's right there. This one's right there. But this area right here historically has had a lot of support and resistance at it. And this is kind of why I picked, you know, this is what I was targeting. I was like, here you go. This is going to come up here just like it did historically the last 2 times we dropped. Now, we are not out of the woods here. We are not out of the woods here. Right? Now, when I placed my shorts, I said, hey, you guys got to be careful. You guys got to put your shorts. If you're going to be in these short stops, you got to be up over 65.50 is where you got to play this risky trade. And let me show you why I called that, right? So I'm going to show you why. We're going to go over here. We're going to find our one. Where's our chart? Let me find this chart here. Where's our 1, 3? Nope, nope, nope. Going to find my damn chart. It's my 1, 2, 3 chart. 1, 3, 5, 9. Nope, nope, nope. Vamp has too many damn charts. Big fib. Nope. Here it is. Okay, so here's our chart. So this is the chart I was watching right here. So when you're looking at this chart, oh, and I also have this one on my other chart. So when you're looking at this chart, this is my 6-4 chart, right? So here's my 6-4 chart, and I had this on my, dang it, what other chart? I had this on my big wedge chart, right? So this also plays out on my big wedge chart. So one of the things we're looking at is, there we go. All right, one of the things, no, Jesus Lord, I got too many. I need a little more focus on my charts right here. Where is my, give me a second. Let me go find this chart. Where are you at? There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay. I got it. It's this one. It's right down here. It's hidden here. All right. So here it is. So in the members area, this is kind of what we were playing. We were playing a red 6. Right? And let me explain to you guys how this works, right? So on this 6-hour chart, we were playing this red 6. And it kind of lays this out. Right? Let me get back down here to present. Oh, there it is. So how it lays this out is it lays it out right here. So we're betting on the TD5 and TD6 combo pattern. We're looking for a green TD6 with a red candle, right? So when you have this combination is bearish. Here was our short call right here. So this was our short call. This is our call where our top was. This was our stop loss. And then we were taking profit. Now, we took profit earlier than this. So we had everybody take profit. And then we had people load up again a little bit higher, right? So I was in, you go down. And then there you go. So there it goes. I closed this out. I closed out at 5%. I did a level 8, 8 leverage, 8 times trade. I did a little over, I did 0.65 BTC. I did this. There was my percentage. I did a good, nice little, I closed it out. I then reopened the trade higher again. So I actually reopened the trade a little bit higher up here. So, and let me explain to you guys why I did that and what happened. Right? So here, if you go over here, we're going to show you guys how we play these 6 candles, right? So if you can see, let me make sure I make this big enough for everybody. So here we had a green 5, red 6. Now we're going to kind of go through. Green 5, it died, right? Green 5, it died. Now we printed a 6. So now we have to go through. So there's a green 6 with a green candle, went up. Green 6, green candle, went up. Green 5, it died. Green 6, green candle, green 5, green candle, green 6, red candle, and it died. Okay, so now let me show you how you play this particular play right here and kind of what we did to play this candle. I'm going to go up and find it for you. Let me go find one of the falls. It's right here at the top. Okay, so here's how you want to play this trade out. Here's your green 5. Here's your green 6 with your red candle. So what you're doing is you're playing this candle combination with the TD, right? So you've got 4 separate indicators you're using here, okay? You're using your TD, you're using your candle colors, you're using your candle positions, and you're using this back testing, right? So you got to look back and you got to see where back would this fall come down and where's it at. So with this candle right here, now this would have been really tough. You would have played your stop loss just a little bit above this 1 right here. right? A little bit above this one. And let me show you, that's what I did. If you go look at my trade, and we'll go back. So look, this trade is, where's that at? The tip of that is 65.30. I played it off of this wick right here, right? 65.40. And then you'll see how I played this trade. Right? So you can see there's my stop loss, 65.52. I played 65.52 because I wanted to call, I wanted to set myself in profit over this particular candle right here, right? And you would have done the same thing right here. So you would have looked back over here. Now this would, I would have had a hard time doing this one, but I could have put my stop loss over this candle right here. And if I would have put it over this, I would have given myself a little room. One of the issues, if you're playing some of these high leverage, like Max, you never know with Max. I mean, you could have, this could have been, you could have got wiped out really quick in Max on that trade. So I just want to help you guys just understand how we set that trade up. And as you go back, you can see that pattern that recurs over and over and over again, right? So you're just looking for this same pattern on the 6 hour, and you're looking for the 5s and 6s, right? It's kind of like that's the fallout you're looking for, right? There's your 5 and it dies. 5, look, 5, green 6. And this right here, what you would have done is now you can set up a flip trade on this. And here's how you set up a flip trade. You're on your red 5. You start your 6, right? You can actually start trading on your 6, or you can start trading your short on your 5. You set your stop loss higher than your 3 right here. You set your stop loss on your 3 at a flip trade. So what you do is if you short 1,000, let's say you short 1,000, just 1,000, your stop loss will be 2,000 on MEX. So what it'll do is it'll kick you into a long trade for 1,000 on MEX if this goes polar on you, if this just goes insanely global. And you can start that trade on your 5 though. So it's super important that you're playing this scalp trade on your 5. Here's your 5. This would have been really tough because there would have been your stop loss for this trade right here. Your stop loss would have been above the 3. Okay, so I hope that was a good enough explanation of why and what we did. Okay. Listen, I'm using one Fox because I'm a freaking American, and because I'm a freaking American, I'm stuck using crappy exchanges like one Fox. That's why. So because I'm an American, that's why. So, all right. So now I'm looking at this, and I look at this bearish because this printed a red 6. Okay, because this printed a red 6, I am now more bearish, and I feel like I've got a better opportunity for a short trade here than I do for a long trade. And I know a lot of people are looking for this to punch up one more time. And yes, of course, even when you're playing this, you know, this falls out, right? This can fall out and it'll still go up, right? It'll retrace. So here you go. Here's your 5. Here's your red 6, falls down. And this is a scalp. It's a good trade. This would have been a good trade from 6,600 on down to 6,300 and change. You would have been a good trade. It would have continued to fall out a little bit. But then this was just a continuation in an upward pattern because you started here. Your pattern continued up. Your pattern was not a bearish pattern. But even though, like, this is still a scalping trade. So if you're looking and you're playing, you're looking, well, this can still go up. Yes, it can fall out here and then still go up. You just have to be aware of when to, you know, how to set your stop losses and your trades. And what we're looking for right now, let me tell you what we're looking for. We are looking to pierce the 64.14 line. Okay, so that's the challenge, is 64.14. Without that line getting busted, right, this is still bullish, right? That's still a bullish trade with 64.14 holding, right? So here it is. There's my 64.15. There's my 64.15 right there. This is bullish until this gets broken, right? And now what your play is, like, you could have shorted this again just like we did, right? Just like I did, right? And now as this is coming down, you can add onto your shorts if it breaks this, Okay, so now your short stop should be up here. Now mine is at 65.52, right? I'm still going to leave it up at 65.52. Okay, but this can break down. It has to break lower, right? Now it has to break lower. And I mean, I hate wedging up this chart, but if you look in here, this is your new wedge right there. There's your new wedge, right? There's your new channel. So you know you've got this channel right here. You got this extremely high channel right there, and that channel did fall out. You know, on a bunch of your alts though, you're still on red. You're on red nines. I'm green nines. So you're really close to falling out on a bunch of other of your alts also. They've ran a good run. They've had a good bounce. Now they're trying to retrace, right? So with that being said, we need to go back and we need to take a look at this overall pattern right here, right? We need to look at this pattern and say, okay, what do you see in this pattern? And when I come down here and I look at this pattern, I'm looking at this like, oh, hey, A, B, C up here somewhere, right? There's a C right here. And then when I'm looking in here, I'm going like, okay, 1, 2, maybe one more run up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or even better, right? Come down, test right here, and then come up one more time and try to give us that double top thing, right? That we see over on the fib chart, right? So come over here. So let's go find our fib chart. Where's our damn fib chart at? Fib chart. There it is. Here's our fib chart, right? So now you're here. Now this dips out and it bumps back up. Let's go see what happened last time. Here it is. Here it is. Look, look, look. Dipped out, pumped back up, right? So let's break into this and see if we can get a very similar count out of this. Okay, let's see what we can get out of this, right? So, I mean, I look at this, A, B, C. Yeah, look at that, A, B, C. And then this actually started the 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3. You just had an insane retracement here all the way back up to the top, right? You had this insane retracement all the way back up, almost broke this line, and that was it. And this would be your 1 and 2 right there. And then, you know, you'd have to dig in here pretty tight to count this out, this 5 wave in here before this came back up. Now, this could also be looked at as a double top, right? So you'd look at this as a double top reversal pattern, and that double top reversal pattern is what took you to the next lower level. So as we come back down here, you know, really tough. I mean, you know, let's squeeze this in here real quick. I'm going to squeeze it in here. All right. I mean, this right here says this comes down and then bounces up one more time. Right? I mean, this is what this says to me. Comes down. Look, it tests that 382 there, that 382 line, wherever that was from. And try to hunt down that 382. So there's the 382 is the total of the fall from there to there was the 382. Okay, so here's your total of your fall from here to there. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. Way above. All right, so we're going to flip this. Flippy, flippy. No, that doesn't work either. Nope. I mean, we're so far above that. So if this is going to come down and test a lower, this is going to come down right here and want to test something lower. Yeah, let me get in here. I want to just make sure. If this comes down here, where is this going to fall to retest? Ah, because it's such a deep fall right there. Such an insane fall. Ah, that's deep. See, percentage-wise, this is a greater distance right here. So we're gonna have to see how far this puppy will retrace here on the downside, and I'm wondering if this will come down, test, and we'll get one bounce back up. I mean, that kind of seems like how this pattern plays out, right? Drop down, run your 5-wave up, A, B, C, right? There's our A wave, B wave, C wave. Okay, there's your A wave, B wave, C wave to the top right here, and then you'd retrace down. Look, you retrace down. So there it is. Your retracement would be $6,200. So you would be looking for a possible retracement here of 6,200. This is what you somewhere in this vicinity, and then you'd pump back up again. Now the way that would look to me is that would look like it would kind of start out as a 4-wave, this is a wave 3, 1, 2, wave 3. It starts to retrace as a wave 4. And then as the wave 4 comes down, it kicks back up, and then it just dies before it can make that final wave up right there. So that's what it did before. All right. So this is the bearish scenario right here is, and I'm looking for this thing to fall out, and I kind of want to go through my candles. So, I mean, this candle right here is, I swear, this is a beautiful, beautiful candle. All right. So, gorgeous candle. Right, so it's an awesome spinning top candle. Let's go and see really quick where we can see any more of these spinning top candles playing out here. Now, does this have to be bearish? No, it's actually a candle that signifies indecision in the market. But to me, when I look at a spinning top like that, especially a doji one, I'm looking for, see, there's one right there. This is more of a hanging man candle. But for me, there is a nice one right there. See, so take a look at this. This fell out and this rallied back up, right? There it is. It fell out but rallied back up. You know, I like these spinning tops. I like these doji candles like this because they tell me that, look, at, you know, there's a kind of a one. There's another one. Fell out, bounced back, right? Especially this one. There was a great one. There was a really pretty one right there. So, you know, what have I become that I'm calling candles pretty? Where am I at in my life right now? When I look at candles and I'm like, damn, that's a pretty candle. It's nice. You got a nice candle. So there you go. This is kind of, now, this setup right here, we can just move sideways, right? We can't punch up, and we would actually make like a wave 5, right? You know, you'd be looking A, B, 1, 2, 3, you know, 3, 4-ish, 5. I mean, for a last push up right here, it's totally possible. And, you know, it's completely possible. One of the things we're looking at also over in the members area is that, let me bring this over here. Where's it at? Some of these charts I just don't use. All right. So we're going to pull this down to the daily. Okay, there's the 12-hour. What chart is this? There's my J. All right, so this is the chart we've been following, right? This is kind of the main chart in the members area that we've been tracking along. And let me update this thing. This is not updated. right? There's your updated version of it, right? So here's our updated version of this. Now, here's kind of what's got me a little on the bullish side, right? A little on the bullish side. This insane retracement. Look at this thing. This thing is insane. Now, one of the things I like to look at is the skipping. The skipping to me is I see this skipping. So you see all this right here, this downward movement is all the skipping along the bottom. And that's bearish, right? You see the skipping right here, the skipping right here. This is all bearish sign to me, right? Even this is bearish, and then this fell out right here, this last little one, right? So this little skipping piece right here came up, just fell down. Then, of course, this took off. But I'm looking at the skipping stuff. Now, when you get these nice upward retracements, these upward movements, you can see these nice, clean, swooping patterns that go up. They just kind of sweep you up. Look, there's the chop. See the chop? Chop, 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 and drop, right? But then you get these nice bullish patterns. It's like the bulls like it nice and clean, right? The bears like it nice and dirty and gritty, right? They like to get down here. These are the bear's teeth right here, right? The teeth of the bear. They're just kind of chewing up the people. They're chewing up the prices. They're chewing up your profits. And, you know, so we got all the way over here, and this is kind of, you've got the bear teeth down here, right? You've got the skipping and the bear teeth right here. And these bear teeth they're trying, right? And if you look one more time, it's so hard not to see this as bearish division because you've climbed so far. Look at how far this has run up, right? This has run up an insane amount. Okay, and look, just take a look at this for 1 second. This is why it's so hard to be bullish. It's really tough. Run from here to here, right? You see that run from here to there. Great price action. Price action correlation. Look at this. We started here. We ran to here. We're the same. We're lower. Our price is lower here right now than at the bottom, right? Look at this. Here's where we started, right? Here's where we started. We went all the way up here. So here's where we're at. Our price is lower. This is bearish. This is bearish divergence. And and it's hard not to look at that and say that's not bearish divergent, right? It's not. Yeah, speaking of that, we're supposed to have, let's see. We got the man, the myth, and the legend on the show. Perfect. All right, let's do, please. All right, say something. Joan. Fuck, man. Yeah, dude, I don't know why my OBS does not work. That's killing me, man. Killing me, dude. Unbelievable. Why is this piece of junk such a piece? You people, Chone, the man, the myth, and the legend is trying to call in, and the Vamp has ultra fail on his, hold on a second. Let me see if I can adjust this audio setting real quick. Default. Let me try this real quick. Okay, say something.
Say something.
Yes, you're there. Say something.
I'm good.
Yes, yes. Vamp does it. Vamp does it. Great success.
Hello, everybody.
And in the country of Moldova, I am famous, right? Okay, so let me just knock this out real quick, and I'm going to turn it over to you, young man. All right. So what I was saying is I was showing you my chart right here. Shonen, what I was saying is that look at how far the MACD has moved up. The MACD is insanely rocketed here, and our price is lower than the bottom, right? So our price is all the way down here. Same thing with our RSI, right? Our RSI started all the way down here. This was the bottom of our RSI, and now look at our price action. Our RSI has gone up, and our price action is actually flat. Right? Because look, here, you line this up. There you are. There's the line right there. Right? There's the line right here. This is the top of your price, 6,500 right here in this range, right, where the RSI is. And then look at this. Our RSI is to the moon and our price is flat. We're exactly flat right now on our price. The same thing goes for our Stoke. Look at our Stoke. Our Stoke has had this really good run up. And now here's one of the things I want you guys to take a look at. When you switch this over to the daily, right? The daily is where I get really, I have my almost bearish confirmation over here on the daily. Because when I look at the daily, we're down here, right? Here we are. We're down at the bottom. Now, every time we've fallen, every single time we've gone down, right? I mean, every time we've gone down, we've always had that little, you know, like especially on these big ones. Like here's a big fall. This is a big mamma jamma fall. And when you came down, you found the bottom, but it's like, no, just kidding. No, just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. You know, and you kind of get a few, I'm kidding. All right, here it is. You fall. No, I'm kidding. Right? This is what this is. This is no, I'm kidding. And then this big one, and then all right, now we can be bullish, right? So you fall down. I'm kidding. And then you get the big one, and it's like, okay, now we can go back up, right? So this kind of plays out over and over and over again in this situation, right? Now here, you know, you got to, even if you go back and you're here, here's your fall, right? Oh, I'm kidding. All right, big fall, and then boom, and then there you go. So on this big fall right here, we haven't got the oh, I'm kidding yet, right? So we just haven't printed an oh, I'm kidding. Now, does this mean that there's not more room to go up? No, that doesn't, you know, definitely doesn't mean that, right? Now, what I have been looking at back here, and we're looking at two different areas right now of price targeting, right? So on the price targeting, here's your daily. We've been looking at these, and now these areas are a little bit off here, right? So we've been looking at this to come up, and you know, this still had this little widget where it fell out here, right? For this fall, right? We got this fall, I'm only kidding fall. So there's the I'm only kidding fall. Before there's the I'm only kidding, right? Here's the I'm only kidding. It's right here. Right, let me pull this off. Look, here is the I'm only kidding. And then, so, oh wait, boom, right? And then the big one, and then we're out. All right, so it did the same thing here. So look at the daily. You come down, and it's like, you know, this is the small one right here, right? This is the small one. This is this little humpy hump. And then it gives you the, okay, I'm done. Right? The same thing. Now, we've come back up and we're in a critical time, a critical place right here where we haven't seen this, you know, I'm only kidding spot. The only kidding hasn't happened, right? Now, we're bearish. Every time, you know, these falls happen in the middle here, we're still bearish. Now, we're on the bearish side of the histogram. We're on the bearish side of the histogram when we got the only kidding right here. See, there's the only kidding. And then here's your only kidding, two of them, one there, one there. So you had two of them here, right? And those correlate with this down here. See, here they are. There's the only kidding, and then, all right, we're done, right? So we haven't had that. We're on the bearish side. As long as we're on the bearish side of our daily histogram, we are still bearish, right? Now, once again, this doesn't mean you can't have these runs up. And this is one of the things that pisses Vamp off is because, you know, if you read Vamp's charts, Vamps doesn't read his own charts, and that's a problem, right? Wrote this a long time ago. Hey, we're going to hit 25 to 2700 if it bounces from here, and there was talking back down there. And then we'll have one last dip, and then we'll see where we go, right? So Vamp's dumb, retarded, ignorant butt is the one who wrote that. So, but if you go over here on the 12-hour, my issue is on the 12-hour chart. I have some issues on the 12-hour chart, right? This is kind of like dating a stripper. I've got issues. I don't just have issues. I've got subscriptions. They come so often with this chart right here. Now we've climbed up a long way. Our RSI is perfectly in the line of where it should be to fall out, right? But look at our Stoke here. Our Stoke has gone just boom, right? Our Stoke has gone boom. Now, the last couple times, this is exactly what happened. It goes bullish, and then it falls out. See, there you go. See, there's our bullish histogram. right? So let me get this out of the way. So there's our bullish histogram right there. And then it falls out, right? Then you come over here and you do it again, right? Bullish, well, this is a lot of bullish histogram. Where was it? It was over this fall right here. No, this one. Anyway, so you get this bullish pattern. Let me find this. Sorry, back here. There it is. So you get this bullish pattern, this bullish pushover, right? And you get this bullish pushover, then you get a drop. Now, what concerns me here is look at how teeny tiny this bullish pushover was, right? I mean, this is little baby, and then it just, fell down, died, right? And then the other one's where is that? The other one's right here, right? This got a much better little pushover, but then it died. Okay, but look at the amount of price action on these retraces. This one was massive. This one was small. This one is infinitesimal. Right? If we went back and we measured this retrace right here, this retrace is insane. This is a really good retrace. You're 6,100 to 8,100 to 8,900, right? That's a great run. This is a really nice 800 point run. If we go back here and we look at the same thing, 8,400 to 9,900. Wow, that was a hell of a run. Now, I have one more area I want to point out to you guys. Just one more little area. And then I'm going to let the chone take over right here, okay? So this is the area that we're also, another area that we're looking at right here. So you've had this area play out almost exactly. And if you pull this back on the 6-hour chart, you're really close to watching this thing play out almost to the dime. Right, this thing was playing almost to the dime of the 6-hour chart right here. So you had this long swooshy down low. And we're going to thank Peak for finding this. Good job, Peak. Had this long swooshy down low. There it is. Your longs, there's your long swooshy right there. Right, this is kind of all drawn out. You get the double top, fakey, everything's good. Look, you never break this top right here. We still haven't broke the top. And then here's your RSI. Look at how your RSI correlates, right? Here's your RSI. Your RSI correlates the same way. Let me grab this right here. Sorry, guys. And there's that. And there's, hold on a second. Come here. And there's this. Right? There it is. So look at how this RSI comes down, does the double touchy, comes on up, tups that line exactly the same. So we had the same pattern at the bottom. These are the bear teeth. The bear teeth are just chomping and chomping and chomping. And then it comes up and it's fighting to get through that resistance, and it just can't. And we're doing the same thing right here, right? And this is kind of why I expect this to be choppy, right? Choppy before this falls out one more time. But this really is playing out in a very similar pattern. Look at this wave pattern, up, down, like the serpent, right? So if we go, watch it, right? Like that, right? So without the sound effects, and then, right? Look at that. I mean, really close to having the same serpentine effects. Now, the sound effects are not included in the show, so we don't have the budget yet for the sound effects machine, but we will get there one day. Okay, so there's your little serpentine action, right, which we already classify as bearish. These are the bear teeth. And then now I'm just waiting. Now, I made a really crappy call, right? ETH just took off on me. I suck, and I take the responsibility for that crappy call, okay? But I will do my best to redeem myself, everyone. And for that, I'm turning it over to the man, the myth, and the legend himself, the gentleman who just stepped off the yacht, was just drinking Moet champagne out of crystal champagne glasses. He's probably got a chocolate-covered strawberry and a shrimp in his hand right now with a giant dipping platter of shrimp cocktail sauce, which is my favorite, right? He's got one of those little lemon bags. You get your lemon, but it's got the bag on it, so the seeds, that's, not for us plebes. But here he is to show you the most amazing TA in the Twitterverse, the Chone himself.
Jeez, man, hard act to follow. Thank you so much for...
Just real quick here, great analysis by Vamps as always. So let's acknowledge kind of what we just went through. We broke bullish here from our triangle. you know, when we did this inverse channel here where we broke bearish, held support on our bodies here with this on the 4-hour
chart here, and then had this really nice bullish candle here. This set the stage for the consolidation, holding a close of a higher low. Then we broke bullish and basically pulled a one-to-one from our entire candle here to our apex to basically where we wicked off earlier today. And now, as Vamps said, we're kind of in this, what do you call it, serpentine, basically back and forth, kind of very holding a tight pattern here, slithering along. And right now, we basically have our current candle body support at around 64.40 and our current closing resistance around 64.85 wicks in both directions, flagging sideways currently. In terms of the completion of this whole pattern here, and then a very strong jaunt down, I'd be comfortable with testing as low as 63.80 or so, which basically is around the area where this big candle here closed off, and that initial area of major resistance we wicked out here again, and then we're able to broke bullish on it, back tested, held support, and then put in another very nice almost Marabouzo candle here on the 4-hour. So because of that break of this area here, I am looking for strong enough support in this literally at 63.80. Now, if that holds, we can continue this move here. And you kind of have to look at two things here when I'm watching this. I'm watching kind of our most recent, tremendous drop here where we fell through the sky very rapidly, very bearishly. So you would think, okay, well, if you fall through that quickly here, this could potentially be like open ground where we can just blast right through it again. And sure, that's possible, but I will refer back to kind of our most recent areas here where we had been finding that major area of resistance, broke bullishly of it, and then actually were able to kind of retest it very briefly here in this little 4-hour spot. So my best case scenario now for breaking bullish and finding the next area where I'd be interested in finding resistance is a hair over 6,600. And again, we're only talking about a couple $100 at best, even if $100, because mostly what Vamp was talking about earlier in the show is how high our indicators, our Stoke, our RSIs, our Max, rose where the price, did basically maybe a 1 or 2% gain there. So this basically caused this situation here, and that's basically where we're seeing our chart right now. Now, as long as we hold these supports here, this is basically going to continue this move here, and I'm very comfortable with that, even with our highish areas there of our patterns. Now, if we do break bearish, then again, we really need to hold, I would say, more or less the apex of where we actually broke out bullishly here. And that puts us right around 62.50 area as kind of your next must-hold area. And after that, we have all our lower plays basically in play here. So it's not a problem for me to be more or less bullish here, and that's kind of what we're looking at best here. Give me 1 second here. So that being said, let's look at some indicators to kind of see where we're at now. Now our 4-hour RSI, look at, we're back in this area here where we find major chop and major resistance, for such a long time. And that is significant here because what that means is that back up here again, that resistance, that chop, that basically unable to get through on the first attempt area could drag us out for several days here, and even a rejection to retest lower areas initially if we wanted to put in some sort of a higher move moving up on that move here. Again, we did a very good bull break here of our triangle. It's okay to kind of consolidate that move for several days here and kind of trying to keep that momentum at least somewhat going there. And again, how to reset our indicators here to actually get a bigger move. What's it going to take to pull our RSI, back down here, even our Stoke, how do we reset? Oh, that's our RSI still. Oops. This is our Stoke here, our 4-hour Stoke. back topped off here, angled a little bearishly here, but we can be up here for a couple days, you know, at least 2 days, and we're just up here for just the beginning of day 2 here. So we can definitely do a wrap around, keep our bullishness. But again, that only coincides with maybe what, $100, maybe $1.50, okay, to get us back to this little chop area where our 4-hour found support, you know, found a little support for a moment there, found resistance, happened to be in my, let me pull up my EMAs here, happened to be in the, right at the MA200, the 4-hour chart, which I actually earlier in the day put a tweet out, and I kind of want to reference that. There it is, because this MA200 on the way up was resistance, okay, had a back test, okay, so that basically shows me that this line is significant because the back test not only held, but created a very nice bullish impulse. And it was one of these areas other than 7K where we found support on this really nasty bear break. And for a 4-hour candle, we actually did find some support here initially on testing before actually breaking bearishly. So this could be my target of 66, which again corresponds to what I talked about earlier as being kind of that next area where we want to hit. And there it is. There's our MA200 live, you know, on our 4-hour chart. And that is basically what we're watching here. So sideways price action here. Now, again, we come down a little bit. That will allow us to kind of reset our indicators here. It's okay to bring this down and then give us a chance to move higher. Now, of note, look at our chalk and money flow here. This has significantly been bearishly diverging through the day here. When we topped off here was actually before this move here. What this shows me is we had this trickle up without the money flow behind it that you really want to see for, I guess, more of a stable move here. Now we're looking at our very short-term VPVR. We see a lot of that money was in this sideways price action here. Okay, the money up here so far is not very substantial yet. Let's go back to the past. So we're talking about the past 3 or 4 days here. So we haven't built a big enough monetary base in this area just yet, I feel, to move higher. But we have built a very decent support, you know, basically 6,300 and higher, mostly based on what we had here in this area. So this area up to 64, basically right where we wicked off here, is very fundamental to keep this move going here. And we can. There's no rush. You know, there's no rush for the bears to really sell off here. And I have to transition to our Bitcoin longs and shorts. And let's actually do a buy screen here. BTC short, BTC long. So we're looking for 2 things here. We're looking for the shorts, see how they strong. Remember, we've been watching them get closer again to retesting our all-time high levels here. We're on the 4-hour chart. Okay, now back in April, we hit our ATH levels. Back in August, we hit our ATH levels. And now back in September, we double tapped our August levels, and we're still holding in this area. We broke very bullishly, got a little too ahead of our skis there, but have been able to reset our indicators. And our RSI is still very strong on our 4-hour. We're still above 50. We're tight here. Okay, this still is a bullish pattern here, even on the 4-hour RSI, which means the shorts are prepared to ruse higher. But even if they bear break, I like the support that our 200 MA could support if we touch it here. And even that pullback, what pulls the shorts back? If Bitcoin rises, you know, you can actually see the shorts increasing, okay, basically loading up on their contracts, being prepared for that last little push of bullishness, add a couple $100 more to their shorts, and then prepare for the dump. My long chart, even though it's been very nice moving in this 4-hour here, the overall has actually been very unimpressive and still in this very bearish pattern here. Note how our 4-hour MA was once, the 200 was once tested again, and again we had found a resistance over it. So until we're able to break bullishly over it and hold it, I'm not convinced of any change here, and we are in this very large descending wedge. I can even bring up a larger time frame here on a daily. You know, this pattern, we actually had seen something similar in the shorts back here when we actually had this very steep kind of falling wedge, and then boom, break bullish on it. And bullish and shorts was kind of bearish in Bitcoin. So here we have our longs doing a very similar pattern where they can take them pretty far down, and they could take them all the way through October to reach this bottom level here, setting up for potentially a very nice bounce in the long contracts, potentially setting up a trend change in Bitcoin's price action. But right now, the shorts are not that overextended. The longs are not that oversold. And neither of these two things, I believe, are kind of add a lot of pressure price action wise to Bitcoin currently. Now, Bitcoin needs to run the show on this to basically make this movement happen so they can get these short contracts and long contracts into some sort of a different frame of mind where they can actually get into those extreme areas, which can actually add to any big move in Bitcoin. I got the CME futures off. I got the hourly chart. I do not see any gaps currently in the entire chart going all the way back to December. They've all been filled, which basically means to me that there's nothing specific price action wise, price target wise that I feel have to be obtained. So the price is going to free to do what it needs to. The chart here itself being founding support on the EMA 26. Remember, this correlates more or less with Bitcoin, but it's not a tick-by-tick equivalency. And it closes basically Saturday into Sunday evening. So that's where these gaps have been formed in the past. So any major price action in the price of Bitcoin in the weekend could definitely create another gap area and basically an achievable target. Some gaps take days or hours to fill, and some have taken weeks, but they all get filled. Yesterday's price action in Bitcoin definitely allowed a lot of alts to move. Definitely, we saw a lot of bullish divergence in coins like, Ethereum obviously had the nice run, Litecoin, EOS, a lot of alts definitely bullishly diverged from Bitcoin. We also saw the GBTC, which is the OTC traded over-the-counter stock, if you will, or stock basically, that the past two candle closes here actually showed there was a bullish nice move in the market here. We had a bottom hammer followed by a bullish engulfing the day after, and that led to this really nice gap up, but found very strong resistance again on our EMA 12. And again, we have another gap here in the price. So we have a bunch of gaps in this chart. I actually have not calculated all these gaps here, but gaps need to be filled, and they will be filled in this chart as well. Definitely some on the uphand as well, but these could take a very long time. We look at the Ethereum chart, because the Ethereum chart was kind of ran the show through most of the day here, and that's what allowed a lot of the altcoins to actually have a lot of their moves here. Now on the daily chart, let's just look at the candles themselves. So look at gorgeous bottom hammer, okay, Marubozu. Okay, yesterday, very small wick, complete zero wick on the bottom. Double, triple, quadruple, engulfing bullishly there. But we didn't even touch our EMA 12. Now, we did touch that and hit that as the resistance in several other coins, such as Litecoin there, where similarly we actually did bounce with a very similar candle concoction here, where we had a bottom hammer and a very nice Marubozu, but it actually broke more bullish in terms of the fact that it wasn't as bearish as Ethereum actually was, and it touched and basically almost touched at least and found resistance there on the 12. So getting to this area was an achievement. I don't see why it would completely just disintegrate and go back after it. Look at this massive volume here. We basically had capitulation bottom volume followed up by a bigger bull volume with a gorgeous bull candle here. So people that scooped up ETH based on this follow-up candle here says a lot of them are still holding their positions and looking for at least that initial test of my EMA 12, which is around $220. And then from there, you know, we definitely potentially move higher depending upon how it reacts to that. I expect it to be initial resistance. We see here in the past how it briefly acted as a little support here, but acted as resistance and had acted as major resistance. Okay, even not even allowing our indicators to cross way back here. So Ethereum breaking bullishly more or less can run the show and actually keep the alts in a better perspective and more bullishly moving here. And that's significant because if you want to see that bullish divergence happen with the alts, Ethereum to be relatively stronger than it currently is. You also see short term, at least, we have a little window here. If we could actually get above 230, you know, getting up to around 270 can definitely be a major bull target. But from here to there is just, you know, you need Bitcoin to really kind of extend its more of a bullish run. Currently, it's been sucking up a lot of the action here. Now, yesterday, our Bitcoin dominance was over 57. Come back a few ticks. It's at 55.8 right now. Look at our market cap. We were sub 200 billion, and we got back right above it here. So, I mean, is this a dead cat? Here's the cat right here. Here's Jessica. She's pretty hot, I guess. But this is our dead cat now. It's right here.
Listen, you and your pussy. Listen, this is a rated PG-19 show, okay?
Okay.
Let's keep the pussy pictures.
So
let's keep the pussy pictures to the other show. Members only. Sorry, guys.
I can't.
XVG show. That's for our XVG show.
Yes, you can use those.
Our Verge show.
We accept Verge. Bitcoin itself, market cap 112 billion. And listen, we've been hovering in the low 110s here. This bounce it was nice, right? It was nice, right? But what? We added like 3 billion, 4 billion to the, I mean, we really didn't, a lot of the money went into alts. A lot of the money went into mostly non-Bitcoin, mostly for bottom feeding. A lot of stuff was oversold. A lot of stuff was really oversold. You know, Twitter was very bearish on Ethereum yesterday, more or less at the bottom. Right when we broke 170, a lot of big buying started to come in there. Because at that moment, that felt like it was a good value, and so far so good.
Just rub it
Litecoin.
in. Just rub it in. Just rub it in. Just rub my missed long call in. Rub my missed short calls.
13 to 14 though. I mean,
14
yeah. Pretty decent batting average.
No, well, I missed my longs and I missed my short calls, so that's 2 misses right there, technically. So,
but it almost feels like we're kind of clutching at straws in terms of like what's bullish in the market. I noticed that you mentioned that. Or maybe it was coin news. I don't know, something that was basically huge move in Bitcoin. I mean, this was literally just a stability 2% move. The more we get comfortable with time spent, and I said this before, in the 6,000s. I mean, it's like how long can the exchanges, can the miners, how long can they defend 6K for before they just run out of algorithms to basically print? And we're putting in like listen, it's okay to still be bullish at this moment, just to a certain point. And when we use the word like bullish and whatnot, you have to keep it in the overall context of our major overall chart here, where like we've touched this red line on numerous occasions. It's logical to assume another touch, as long as we're holding above 57.50, is possible. And that could basically scale us into something around sub 7K to $6,700 on a similar chart trajectory as our bullish move we had back in August. We basically are putting in a kind of a similar story. Like, haven't we seen this play before? Even similar candles here. We had this crazy shooting star bottom hammer, and then this one here, and then if you were patient, you were able to get back to the wick area. Same thing here. We had this shooting star, came all the way back. 3 or 4 days later, we basically were able to get back up to it. Very similar pattern on a little smaller scale, smaller time frame, lower volume, no tether prints yet. you know. So what is this? This is just a correction still based on this massive move down. We've touched our fib levels where we're just extending to potentially a little bit more, and any kind of a continuation here without another sell-off, this doesn't give you faith that this isn't going to end well here. So I don't see why the Bears have an excuse to dump yet. Um, we have broken through on lower time frames, some areas that are now acting as support. You know, we can see here on the hourly, we've spread out my EMAs here. Where's my 55? So I have support here. We have crossed bullishly into our MA200 on the hourly. So we have supports here that bring us, you know, comfortably to even retesting the 64, maybe 6350 area, and can still maintain a bullish pattern. Lots of money is still 6300 and down that can hold us up. So I'd be shocked if anything fell out of the floor. And let's chop this up for several more candles, see if we can reset some of our indicators and allow us to proceed a little bit more bullish in this move here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I just want to jump in for, you made a really good point. Just real quick, I want to show everybody that on our 12-hour, we do have a bearish cross on the 12-hour. Now, this is a death cross that we're looking at, so you guys can see that clear right there. I would keep an eye on it, all right? So we do have this bearish cross. All the other time frames, they'll look pretty good. You know, your MAs are a little bit spread out in your 6-hour below. You're going to have a bullish cross, though, on your 4-hour coming up here. So remember, when your MAs get spread out like this is weakness. This is when the bulls or bears like to attack when they're all clumped together. It's sometimes a little bit harder, but once you do break through that, it gets really ugly really fast. You know, Chun brought up a really good thing, and that's something. Let's go down. I want to take a look at just a little piece of. I'm gonna get this out of here. Get on my tether fairy chart, because we know the tether fairies exist. Seriously, Tooth Fairy doesn't. Tether Fairy do. Okay. So one thing I want to take a look at, and there was a really good thing, is I want to do this. Where's it at? Right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. And let's see if we can bring this down. All right. So we have spent this much time right now. This is how much time we've spent at the 6K area. Right. Now let's take a look and compare that to how long we've been above 6K. It's pretty much right here to right here, right? Because in the 6K is right in here. Right, the 6K range, so you're there, and then pretty much there. Okay, so let's look at this comparison right here of how long we've been in the 6K range now, right? That's a long time, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You know, that's a long time that we've spent. We've spent the majority of the last, let's see here, we spent the majority of the last 93 days, right, on the subs in the 6K range with the 6 in front of our price action. Now, this is something you need to be aware of, because it's getting pretty comfortable down here in the 6K range, right? I mean, this is getting pretty comfortable down here. And now when I look at these patterns too, you know, I kind of look at some of these patterns and I'm like, you know, this kind of right here looked like an inverse head and shoulders right there, right? Boom, 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 you know, right there. That kind of looked like a inverse head and shoulders pattern right there, which is a really good reversal pattern. Pulled us right out of that. Got a nice moonshot out of that. I know a lot of people were playing that pattern and calling that pattern out when that happened. You know, you came down here the second time. Now, we did have kind of a V bottomish with this one wicked candle right here where we kind of wicked down there to the 57. I thought it was 5,700 we got down to. And, you know, we kind of wicked down here, pulled out of that. But, you know, looking at this, I mean, we've spent a long time down here into the 6K range. And this is something really I didn't even think about how long we've been down here. Yeah, CNBC says we're going to the moon for sure. All right, I think I have one more chart I want to go over. And then I think I'll be good. Oh, doggy. So I want to take a look at doggy coin right here, man. This thing is just like a cockroach. It's never going to die, right? This thing is absolutely insane. Whoever is buying into doggy, God, you guys are making a killing. Good job, right? I'm not going to hate. You guys did a great job. This is a good play. This has been a great scalping play. Now, when you look at this right here, something you got to be aware of is you got to be aware that this thing did double tap right here. This thing did double tap a perfect, you know, a perfect double top right there. This is kind of, you got to be careful. Now, I looked back historically and I was trying to see if this thing had double topped anywhere before, and I couldn't really find it. I mean, this kind of did a double top right here, right? This, you know, this kind of played out the same thing. Bam, bam. I mean, really, really close. And then it just, you know, then it came back up one more time. You see this played back up one more time, and then it finally died out. So I would be looking to this to almost play out a similar pattern to this right here, right there. That same pattern playing out right there. So I'm going to remove these fibs, and we're going to see if this plays out. If this, now this is more of a gradual decline. It doesn't really fall out right there, but that's more of a gradual decline, which is a more healthy decline, right? This is a more healthy decline. These are unhealthy runs up. This is a more healthy decline right there. So that's something I just wanted you to take a look at. Also on our ETH, so on Ethereum, we are looking. Here's Ethereum. We're on our there's our Ethereum candles right there. Now we are on a 9. If this doesn't tack up over here, over this will turn into an imperfected 9. So this could have one more little push up. It's following. This is much stronger than Bitcoin right now. So Ethereum is definitely leading the way for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely the laggard in this particular area. Let's take a look at the daily candles. 12-hour candle, daily candle, almost. Look at just absolutely identical. Now, if you look at this right here, this sure looks like, you know, 3 soldiers marching right there. Right on the 12-hour. Let's take a look at the daily. Nope, but on the 12-hour, that looks like 3 soldiers marching, and what you'd expect is a little bit of a retrace, but then you'd expect a repop, right? Because this is kind of a bullish continuation pattern. So you'd look for some kind of a retrace down here, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a retracement all the way down here, and it did. It came all the way down here to right here. It came all the way down to 201. I called the retracement all the way down to 198. I missed this by $2. So this is when we were doing our scalping trade. When our scalping trade went all the way down, I missed that lower call by $2. It was still a pretty good call, and then we bounced straight back out of it, just like we expected BTC to bounce. It just bounced right with BTC. ADA, here's our ADA. I know there's a bunch of people and I made a very humorous joke. I thought it was funny. ADA is called Another Dead Alt. So, you know, I know people are saying it's the resurrection of the... This is the daily chart, people, okay? This is the daily chart. Like, you can't even see that down there, right? You can't even see that. So, you know, people who are saying ADA is going to come back to life again. Joan, what do you think? Joan, you there? Joan.
Yeah, I think Ada, Cardano, um, other ones I'm not prepared to list right now, but they represent the handful of super hyper parabolic moved coins that created billions of dollars of market cap that even based on, oh, maybe at the 78.6 it could find support, or maybe at the 88% it can find support. I mean, you think 90% retrace is, oh, now it's cheap. No. These projects are going, are going nowhere. And the valuations of their actual coins, will find bounces here and there, oversold, completion of patterns, whatnot. But the understanding about how low these can go based on how high they went. And ADA is an example of one that went super hyper parabolic and is retracing in a very similar manner.
Look at that. This coin was $1.40. $1.40. It is now worth a half a cent. A seventh of was a 77th of a cent? It's a seventh of a cent. Right? So it is now worth less than a penny. Right? Is that correct? No, it's worth 6 cents. 6 cents. Or 7 cents. We're at 7 cents. So we went from $1.40 to being worth 7 cents right now. Right? Which is unbelievably just a beating. What else do we got? I think that might be pretty good. I saw you had another chart over there. Did you want to run that real quick?
Yeah, just to finish
right.
up on this last chart here. This is just a quick pitchfork I pulled.
Go for it.
Just kind of, so again, with a pitchfork, you just need an anchor, and I've set my lower support at my basically nut bottom, and my upper resistance at where we nut topped. And the accuracy of these fib lines here is striking into where we actually did find resistance today, like literally to the penny here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this to see, normally when we hit a major fib line resistance on a pitchfork, the price tends to kind of ride down it bearishly, which would be consistent with a flag pattern of this bull break here. And then as it rides down the channel, lower, 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 it can then consolidate enough to break through and then to target my next areas here again, based on, timing here and what have you, putting 66 to $6,700 our next fib lines here. So the 382 fib on the pitchfork, based on our last hold here, nut bottom, nut top, puts that in play and puts, this overall trend support here in support. Now, notice this other line I have here, this line right here, which is basically a perfect triangle from our nut bottom to where we had actually found our nut support here on this current move. So this diagonal I actually see as historic support, and any bear break where we end up breaking along this line, if we get close to this line and touch it, I'd actually look for this particular line here to act as some sort of support. So any bear break, as long as we hold this line compared to here and here, we would still be putting in a higher low. And this pattern can still be considered bullish as long as that line holds on any, relative bear break. But until then, riding down this line, holding it, hugging it, actually trying to break bullish can be a possibility. What was once resistance is now support. And because of that, I feel the bears don't have a major reason to kind of sell off here. And that's what I got.
All right. And I'm just going to make a quick call before we get out of here. So just kind of what my targets are that I'm looking at here over the next, let me switch my screen. All right, there we go. So let's just take a look really quick at kind of where and what my targets are over the next couple hours here or day. Right, so I see we're still trapped inside the channel. You can see how this resistance channel is working, right? And that kind of coincides with the pitchfork he just showed you, right? So there's the pitchfork. This is playing out now. One of the things is if you look, you've got your top over here. Here's your top wicks, right? So your resistance was 64.85. Look, this is turned in. Where is that? 64.85. So you see all your wickage right here. Look at that, 64.87, this body, 64.80, 64.80. Now this has turned this to resistance, all right? So support. So this 64.80 has been right now turned to support on this channel right here. So kind of one of the things I want to keep an eye on here is looking back at how that other channel played out up higher on the fib chart is you can get just some wickedness here, right? This can just go sideways for a couple days, right? And this can stay inside of this channel. And what I'm going to put is I'm just going to draw, because 64.14, 64.18, here's my bottom. So I'm going to get rid of this channel right here. Right, and I'm just going to draw this right here and say, hey, this is just going to bang around in here. This can bang around in here for 2 to 3 days, right? And I think this is a high possibility that just bangs around in here for 2 to 3 days. And you got to be careful because you can get wicked out of a couple, out of a trade. I'm going to switch this way down here because so just like that, right? So I'm going to just put this in here, and that you bang around inside this, right? And I'm going to trade this. I'm going to get that out of here. I'm going to pull this out of here. So pull this. Oops. Yeah, I want to get rid of, no, that would go right back up there. I'm going to lock that in place. I'm going to move this right here. So I'm going to move this just a little higher right here. This was not a double top. And I'm going to say that my support is now that 64.13, right? So this needs to break. So right now, if you want to pull a short, right? If you want to pull a short, you should be very careful in here. Now this looks like a very scalpy. This looks like it's the bot playroom. So this is like a bot playground right now. They're just bumping and grinding, and it's like a nightclub for bots and some dirty nightclub, and they're just bumping and grinding. And I see that your support is 64.13. Now this needs to break or hold, right? Hold if I was looking for any kind of a short trade, right? Or to open up any kind of a short, or to get any kind of an idea. The other thing is, just like Chon was talking about, his pattern, his level is right down here, 63.80. And if you take a look, there you go. Look at the body, all these bodies right here just kind of run across, right? So that's another really good area. And you kind of just come down here and slap that on there. So this would be your second line of defense, and we'll just go to 63.80. Right, I'm stealing off Chon's homework, right? So you look for this little area of support to break, right? What we'll do is we'll pull this down there, right? And then turn it red, okay? And then I'm going to remove this. Everybody need to be prepared for the bounce. I called the bounce. And then I just think this could bang in here, and then this could bang literally. And when I'm talking about bang in here, and I'm talking about let's kind of set a price, and that would be the 6400 to the 6550 ish, right? I mean, this thing can get really frisky here. Right, this thing can get really frisky right in here. All right, now our higher MAs, let's take a peek at our higher MAs and see where they're at up here on the chart. I'm only going to put them on here for a second, then I'm going to probably delete them off. So there they are. Okay, so there you go. So look at, there's our first fib line on the 4 hour. You got the 200 at the 4 hour. You got all this confluence up there. It is, I'm sorry, there's the, so 6,600, 6,700, and that just is marching down. You've got your bear cross right there on your 2-day. You've got your 30 MA on your daily, right? So your 30 MA is right there at 6,600. All right, so look at that. So now you have your 2-day is marching down with a really good heavy 7 MA, right? This 7 MA is marching down, and this thing has got weight to it. And this thing is, you can see that it'll put the smack down. Look at this thing came down, touched this candle, slapped the living bejesus out of it. Tried to get up again, slapped the bejesus out of it again. Came up again, finally kind of got up above it. And then here it is. It acted as support and held that up as support the whole way. There it did again. This slapped it down. This slapped it down again. So this is coming down here. This is going to be the first time this is going to touch. So this gives me an excellent place to put my stop loss, right? And I should probably move it up just a little on a short trade. I should be a little above the 65.52 right there, right? So this is because you've got that. There's your. All right, I'm gonna go over here. I'm trying to post charts in the members area. All right. Okay. All right, now I'm going to come right back over here. Let's take a look at our 3-day. What are 3 days? Right up here, back 66, 6,700. Now this is cruising. This is going quick. This was a inside bar candle or a bullish. This is a bullish candle setup right here. On this 3-day, it's panning out. Let's take a look at our weekly. All right, now let's look at our weekly candle here, right? We only have a couple days left, so it's kind of important that we kind of get prepared for this if this thing doesn't fall out. So right now, this thing has to fall out, the 61.18, 61.13. And for days, so you got to go right over there. There's our, you know, this is our super duper, like, gots to hold the bottom right there. 61.12, right? So this is, you got to hold the bottom right here. So we're just going to say bulls have to hold 61.12 until they got to hold it until Sunday night. Okay, right, there's that. Oops, I'll lock that. I'm gonna put that there, put that right there. Okay. All right, that being said, let's go back now. I just want to pull this off right here. I want to zoom down into this, and I just want to get an idea of what would happen. So look at here, you had, this is the same candle setup right there. There it is. Came up, came back, broke bullish, right? Same candle setup, broke bullish. So this is another bullish candle right here, right? This is right now you're sitting on a bullish candle setup, right? And here it is right here. There's the same thing. There's that bullish candle. If this thing holds on Sunday, we need to really watch out for this because this is a bullish candle setup that could be super wicked, right? Weekly bull. All right, so you got a weekly bull candle setup that's super possible. And let's go down and dig in here on the resistance top side, 66.48. I see this thing has got blasted out a couple times. I think that's all I got. I think we're good. Right, got anything to add, young man?
Just one last very
yes,
small thing.
He does have a nice chart, man. You always have the nice charts. Killing me.
RSI
right.
on the weekly chart.
It's all you.
Again, this is kind of corresponding with our price action here, but because of this tight wedge, we're putting it on our weekly RSI. Another test of our upper resistance line corresponding with another test of our price upper resistance line, is not unreasonable. So as we get tighter into our apex here, we
Is that
talk
a
about
bullish
break
or
bullish.
bearish flag? That looks like a bearish.
It feels like a continuation flag. So
Yeah,
after we finish this
continuation
here,
flag. Yeah, yeah.
this, because of the pattern and where it's at, it can do one of two things. It can definitely roll over. If it hits top resistance here, we want to see that breakout, but another double test of our lower line,
Can
I'd be
can
more
can
expecting it to break down.
would that be an A B C D E if you started the A at the bottom?
Well, so that's all right. So that's what I'm trying to figure out is where is the appropriate way,
Because I,
where is
where
the
do you
appropriate place to start the
Yeah.
A?
Hold on a second. Let me look for this real quick. I've got the cheat sheet. Vamp
Because
has
on a
got the cheat
downtrend,
sheet.
is it the first touch or is it the actual
Mm.
huma in there?
Let me pull this up really quick there.
Because then if it's the A is the first touch, then we're actually in a bullish pattern here where E has been taken and we break out. But I think A is actually at top here,
No, all
where it's
right.
something like this.
So that's a wedge. It's this wedge. Yeah, I think it's A, B, C, D, E. Hold on a second. I know I have one that's got the labels on it. Where is it at? See where it's at. Ah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling this is the right one here.
There you go. Yep, A is the top. So there it is right there. You see it?
Which means we
So A is the
basically
top.
hit E
So this
and
is it right
then
here. So you see,
reject.
this is a contracting or symmetrical triangle. It's symmetrical-ish. Ish.
Yeah.
See it right there? I see, I got it right here. I got it pulled up on the screen. So you come down. Look, this is perfect. You come down, it bounces up, bounces down, bounces up for your A, and then your B, and then you're crinking your little thing, and there's your C, and then this is real tight. So I'm sure there's a little kinky in there somewhere between your C and your D, and now you're coming up for your E, and your E does not have to go up. Your E is a failure wave.
Yeah, so we don't even have to get up there to touch that line. We could just bearishly fall out with just a little bit of a move here. And that's where you have to be watching, because another test of our lower line would mean almost that this pattern is completed,
I
and
just
I don't
saved
see how it
you.
holds.
I just screenshotted you.
Take it.
I
Go for it.
screenshotted you. I got it. Thanks, man.
So, this is how we can use higher time frames
And
to
that's a
set.
weekly. Ooh.
This is
Yee.
weekly, yeah. So being that it's a higher time frame, it's significant. And I can even go a step further if I can find the right chart. And so this was our 2014 to 2015 bear market in our RSI. And breaking bearish in this current pattern sets us on that exact trajectory where we are sub 45 right here. We back test it and then we fall through, and we are mired sub 45 weekly RSI until we're actually able to break bullishly and change the entire trend of Bitcoin. So this could be the beginning of our Wyckoff, accumulation phase, and beginning of a long drawn out bear market if we fail to get above 45 and hold it on the weekly.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's the last thing I got tonight.
All right. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let me come back over here, find out where my stuff is. Here we go. All right. And I think so. All right. So this is kind of my call. My call is I think we're going to just bang around here for the next couple days. I'm going to make this smaller. Make this smaller right here. And I'm going to break the, oop, that's probably too small. All right. Got too many damn lines in this chart. Like most of my charts. Okay, let me get rid of this. Just going to kind of clean this up. Okay, don't need this anymore. And 6,400, I'm going to pull that off. There's my two lines right there. Right, there we go. So, I mean, this is kind of what I think. This is the little channel. I'm just going to kind of draw this little channel in here. This little danger channel, right? We got to get out of this channel. And I think that the critical thing is you just guys got to be really careful in here, because you know, if you look back historically, if this is that same June pattern, one of the things that Peak had pointed out, that this thing just likes to snap up these home wrecker wicks, right? It just likes to snap up these home wrecker wicks and then drop back down. So we're just gonna have to kind of watch this as it plays out. And there's our channel. So we're gonna put us in this channel right here. This needs to come down and break out lower right here. And we're gonna go ahead and mark this in. Gonna mark this in orange for our breakout channel. Right, and that we still have our top side up here, right? We still have our top side, but we see all the heavy support that's up there. Right there is 6,600, right? So if things did take off, 6,600 would be our peace sign right there. Now look at this. Look at this. Is this 4 hour, right? Watch this 4 hour right here. You guys came down, touched this 7, got bounced off. Came down right on the 7 again, got bounced off. Now this is making a hanging man candle. You got a long time left for this candle to play out, but watch this. Also, is this a bullish and or bearish candle setup on the 4 hour? It's neither. Those candles go too high and too low. All right, now if this plays out right here, this might post you up a bullish or bearish candle, because this could possibly be engulfing if it does drop down lower. Okay, for the Vamp and the Chone, I think we're good, buddy. I'm not changing anything on this. I'm not. Still hanging in my support line, still hanging in there. Don't need to change anything there. I still think because we have that death cross above, I am still thinking we go down, and our next test is to come down here, and we're going to test this area because of that death cross, right? Because of the death cross on the 12 hour, we test support, right? All right, and that's it. I think it's good for us. All right, thank you everybody so much. Thank you for coming off the yacht, the big boat. Thank you.
Thanks.
We appreciate you coming in today. Great stuff as usual. All right. He's got his own fan club in the back right there. All right, everybody. Thank you guys all so much. We will catch you guys on the flip side. Listen, feel free to come on over. The Chone Man has got an amazing package. He's got so much great information. We'd love to have you guys come on. We have Forex. We have all kinds of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Shill. And that's about it. I think that's all we got for today. All right. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Please, please, please trade safe here, everybody. Trade safe. Super, super dangerous until we break this 64.13 area, 63.80. Listen, feel free to scalp. This is like a bot party right here. Right, we're having a little bot party, and you guys are all invited. It might last the whole weekend, so we'd love to see you guys at the party. All right, peace, everyone. We're out.